Hi, Judy here. So, this is an intro to the Five Elements Qigong series from Spring Forest Qigong, from which I have a level 3 practitioner certification. Qigong comes from two words, two Chinese words. First word is qi, or our life force, and gong is the practice of cultivating qi, or restoring the life force back into its original state, original free-flowing, full energy state. And good health looks like qi flowing in the right direction and in its full capacity. The stress of our daily lives causes our qi to get stuck or become stagnant or disorganized. And practicing Qigong brings us back into the flow, back into harmony, back into our equilibrium, back into balance. And that equals good health in traditional Chinese medicine. You know, the ancient Chinese discovered that we have these energy lines or meridians running through our bodies, just like a train system. So when the trains are running on time, we're in good shape, we're in good health. But if a train or trains break down, it affects the whole system. So practicing Qigong fixes the broken trains and gets us back on track. The really interesting thing is that each energy line is connected to a different organ system in our bodies. And I equate it to just like the nerves that come off our spinal cord. The ones up here take care of our heart and lungs, and the ones in our mid-spine take care of the liver and gut and so forth, which is a good reason to practice lifting tall through our spine, whether we're walking to the post office or practicing Qigong, so these nerves can function well. So compressing our spine squishes the nerves and they can't function fully, but lifting up tall through our spine when we remember to do so really helps them do their best job. Traditional Chinese medicine talks about the five elements for which this Qigong series is named: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And each of those elements corresponds to a different organ system in our bodies. Ideally, we want all of our organ systems to be in balance. They do talk to each other, they do support each other. So you ideally also want to practice the 5 moves every day or frequently to allow that synchronicity, that harmony to happen. So there are 6 things that block our qi, our energy: wrong medications, poor nutrition, injuries, surgeries, change in the season or the weather, our feng shui or our environment of our home, our work, or even our friends or the people we hang out with. But most importantly is the quality of our thoughts and our feelings, because they each have a frequency or a vibration. Negative feelings are slower frequency, love and kindness and compassion are higher frequency, and those are the healing energies. So the number one blocker of our qi is our negative emotions. The number one blocker of our energy is our negative emotions. We know that Einstein said energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but the latter part of that quote says it can only be changed from one form to another. Energy can only be changed from one form to another. So that's what practicing Qigong does. We shift from our perhaps negative, self-deprecating thoughts. We want to change them into kindness, love, and compassionate thoughts. So our number one goal with Qigong is to change our negative thoughts, our negative feelings, our negative patterns into ones of kindness and gentleness and support and self-love, so that our organs can heal. We're born in alignment with the universe, with its full potential of intelligence and pure love. And I just have to look at puppies to see that that's so. Looking at their curiosity and their full level of energy and their love for us. We are made of this universal intelligence. We're made of this wise source energy, and practicing Qigong helps us return to this state. And here's the big one. Matter follows energy, and our bodies follow our intention. We absolutely can up-level our state of mind. We can rebalance our lives, and we can return home to this original state of homeostasis and equilibrium. So there are 4 parts to Qigong. Doing the movements, our breath, different patterns of breath. Number 3 may be the most important. It's getting to the place where we intend to heal, where we come back to reconnect with our source energy. Number 4 is sometimes sound, like Om or Mo, which is the opposite. Om is the sound of the universe. So what it can help us do is get a start or a sense, a beginning feeling of the vibration of Om in your lips or in your jawbone. It starts to transmit down into your torso. So it's a lovely way to begin to feel the qi moving through your body. With practice, you'll start to feel it in your hands. You'll start to feel it moving through your whole body. It's completely natural. It's your energy. So there are the movements in Qigong. There's also the sitting quietly part of Qigong or meditation. We need both. You can actually be quiet while you're doing the movements if you give yourself enough time. But in the beginning, most of us need to learn to sit still. Sit still, be quiet. If you call it meditation, it sometimes can make it a little challenging. I like to call it just sitting quietly, even if it's for a couple of minutes in the beginning. By the way, there are 2 other energy techniques that break up blockages. One is called cupping, where you just take your hand and you percuss, pulse energy through to the part that's blocked, different parts up and down your spine, for example, and also bouncing on the balls of our feet. We'll start to wake up the qi, wake it up and have it start moving before we start practicing. So a couple of important points to know before we start. There are 2 main energy channels in our body. One runs from the base of the torso up the spine to the top of the head. That's our male energy, our governing channel. From the top of the head down the front of the body is the female channel, the conception channel, down to the base of the torso. So there's this loop. Up the back, I like to think of it as backing up, like backing up a file, so I remember the direction. Comes up the back, backing up to the top of the head, and down the front of the body to the base of the torso again. So those are the 2 main energy channels. And when they're flowing in full capacity, they send qi to the other smaller channels, the other smaller meridians in your body, just the same way a river sends water into streams. And one other thing to know is that from cervical 7, C7, to the base of the spine, the neck channel is actually narrower than the other parts of the loop. So often we have to cup at C7 and the base of the head and use our intention to say our neck channel is wide open. That's why we have a lot of neck challenges, because a lot of people don't know that. But once you do that, once you open your neck channel, everything starts to flow, except that there's a break in the flow between the roof of the mouth and the throat. So a way to close that gap is to lift your tongue gently to the roof of your mouth. It forces you to breathe through your nose, which is a great thing because that calms us down. Our startle reflex is, and we need to stop being so startled and stressed in our lives. This This way of lifting the tongue to the roof of the mouth allows us to calm down. And as our nervous system starts to calm down, we can heal. Also, each of our organs has a healing color associated with it. So, the visible spectrum of light, purple into green and yellow and so forth, they each have a different frequency. And so that corresponds to the different healthy frequencies of our organs. And I'll share them with you as we go along. And finally, some great ancient wisdom is that each of our organs hold on to excessive negative emotions. Yes, we're going to have negative emotions once in a while, but if we can process them quickly, it won't hurt us. It's the long-held negative emotions within each organ system that practicing Qigong will help to transmute. Each movement is associated with a different organ, different color, healing color, and different negative emotion. And by practicing each movement, you will be transmuting that negative emotion into a positive emotion. Let me say that again. Each movement transmutes that negative emotion into a corresponding positive emotion. And all of the positive emotions of happiness, joy, peace of mind, contentment, and gratitude are all versions of love energy. This love energy is the source energy of the universe. It is consciousness. And again, just to remind you that the sound Om is the sound of the universe. So that's why it's said frequently. And here's a final quote from Einstein, believe it or not. He said, "Matter is energy. Energy is light. And we are all light beings at the quantum level." So let's get started.